Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. My name is Julian, and this is likely to be my final episode of the 2021-2022 fantasy season. This is the weekend episode where I suggest players that you should consider adding to help you close out your week and come out with that win. Obviously, this is especially important this week because it is your fantasy finals if you are still playing. So good luck, guys, and hopefully I can suggest players that can really help you round out that week and help you come out on top. Before we get started, please leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already. I'm sure a lot of you that are watching today are already subscribed, but just in case, do hit that. And let's get started with the content and let's look at the schedule for this weekend. And the reason I put those air quotes around the word weekend is because on Saturday there are actually no games this weekend. So I have extended this video to be about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. On Wednesday there are 8 teams playing. On Thursday there are 18. On Friday there are 30. Every single team in the NHL play except for Carolina and Los Angeles. So it's a pretty freaking busy night and almost guaranteed your lineup is completely full. And then on Sunday, there are just 2 teams playing. It's a makeup game between Seattle and Winnipeg. Check your schedule. Make sure that your league site is actually including that in your week. If they're not, obviously ignore that part of the video. So because Friday is just so busy, I decided not to include Friday in my scope of the video. So what you're going to see in this video are teams that play Wednesday, Thursday, and teams that play Wednesday, Sunday. There are no teams that play Thursday, Sunday, so obviously I couldn't include that. Now there's one team that plays Wednesday and Thursday, and that is the Los Angeles Kings. So if you do want someone to stream for Wednesday and Thursday, you're pretty much forced to pick up a Los Angeles King. The number one guy to pick up would be Adrian Kempe, who plays on the top line with Athanasiou and Anze Kopitar, as well as the top power play. And he's been very, very good all year. Definitely someone I don't mind adding to my team. In my fantasy league, he actually has more fantasy points per game than Anze Kopitar. So Kempe has had himself a pretty solid year. Same with Victor Arvidsson. He's on a bit of a hot streak right now, and he's also someone that shoots the puck a lot. That gives him a safe floor. Someone I definitely like streaming for this week. And then I have Philip Danault, who's playing on that second line with Victor Arvidsson, as well as the top power play, and he just came off of a 5-game goal streak, as well as a 7-game point streak. He's very, very hot right now, and he's definitely an excellent add if you want someone for those 2 days. And then I have Trevor Moore of the Los Angeles Kings, plays with Danault and Arvidsson on that line, and he's someone who's been pretty reliable all year. Not my favorite option in the world, but definitely someone who gets about a point every couple games and should be able to do a little bit of damage for you. And then I have Sean Durzi of the Kings, and he's been a little bit cold, but he still is manning that top power play in Los Angeles, so the opportunities are definitely still there. I definitely don't mind him as an add for those 2 games if there's nobody above him available. Then I have Andreas Athanasiou, only 2% rostered, but is playing on the top line with Kopitar and Kempe, so the opportunity is definitely there. And so far in 4 games since he's come back from injury, he has a goal, which isn't amazing, but the opportunity is definitely there playing on that solid top line. Then I have Matt Roy, who's been someone who's been really, really good for peripherals all year round. He's someone who puts up a decent amount of shots, blocks, and hits, and he's someone that manages to put up a point every 2 to 3 games as well. So while he's not my favorite, he does provide a pretty safe floor. And then I have Alexander Edler, and he's someone who missed a lot of the year this year, but over his last 2 games, he has a goal and 2 assists, and he's been putting up some decent block shots numbers as well. So hopefully he can carry over that hot streak and continue to put up some points, but obviously he's not my favorite option. And then last but not least, I have Iafallo and Dustin Brown of the Los Angeles Kings, obviously. They play on the third line with Blake Lizotte. Now, it's not the best deployment in the world, but Iafallo specifically does get top power play time, so there is a little bit of upside there, and both of them tend to shoot the puck a pretty decent amount as well, so they do give you somewhat of a safe floor. Obviously, though, playing on the third line, they're not my favorite options, but if there's nobody above them available, I would definitely consider them if you need someone to stream for Wednesday and Thursday. Now, if you need someone to stream for Wednesday and Sunday, there are 2 teams that play both Wednesday and Sunday, the 2 least busy nights of the weekend. Those teams are Seattle and Winnipeg, and I guarantee you that you have room in your lineup both Wednesday and Sunday. Now, these teams also play on Friday. So if by some miracle fluke you have room in your lineup on Friday, which is pretty much impossible because there's 30 teams playing, well, they also play. The number one guy that I would stream for Wednesday and Sunday games is Jared McCann of the Seattle Kraken. He's been their best player all year round. He's on quite a hot streak right now, and he's definitely the number one guy I would add. And then I have Matty Beniers of the Seattle Kraken, and he came into the NHL quite recently, and he started his career with a 5-game point streak, scoring a point in all 5 of his first games he played. Obviously, in a 6th game, he didn't get a point, but he's looking really good. He's getting top power play time, top line time. He's someone that I do really like going forward and for those off nights. And then I have Josh Morrissey of the Winnipeg Jets, someone who plays on their top power play, puts up some decent peripherals, and puts up points quite frequently, so I definitely don't mind him. Then Paul Stastny, who's manning their top line with Ehlers and Wheeler, which is a really good place to be. Also playing on that top power play. He's definitely someone that I like for those off nights. Then I have Yanni Gourde, who's on a 3-game goal streak, and he also has 5 points in his last 6 games. He's really hot right now, and as long as he's hot, he makes for an excellent ad for those off nights. He plays on the second line with McCann, so it's a pretty good place to be. Then I have Vince Dunn of the Seattle Kraken, and with Giordano gone, he's been a lot better playing on the top power play. He's managed to put up quite a few points. Definitely like Vince Dunn for those off nights. And maybe you do have a defenseman slot available to you on Friday as well, in which case you'll actually get 3 games out of Vince Dunn. So that would actually be pretty cool. Then I have Adam Lowry of the Winnipeg Jets, who plays on their third line. Not my favorite option, but he does give you a little bit of a safe floor with those hits, and he'll put up a point every once in a while as well. Then I have Adam Larson, who lately has been putting up some really solid peripherals in the hits and blocks categories and has actually managed to put up some points lately as well, so definitely not a bad option for a safe floor. Then I have Jamie Alexiak, who hasn't been the greatest this year, but has put up some pretty decent peripherals lately, so he's another safe floor guy if that's what you need. Brandon Dillon's the same kind of thing. He's a guy that'll give you a safe floor with blocks, hits, and shots, but he won't do too much. Then I have Jordan Eberle, and man, has he been disappointing ever since that All-Star appearance. I don't know how he was an All-Star considering how bad he has finished the season, but he is still on the top line and on the top power play, and therefore the opportunities are there despite him not producing lately. Then I have Carson Kuhlman of the Seattle Kraken, 0% rostered, but he's playing on that line with McCann and with Yanni Gourde, and he's been putting up a point every couple of games or so. He's someone that nobody's really looking at right now, but he's definitely a pretty solid option, given that he's actually producing. Then I have Alex Wennberg of the Seattle Kraken, who's playing on their third line right now, which is not the best deployment, but he is still getting top power play time, and that's why he's here on the list. Then I have Ryan Donato, who's playing on the top line with Beniers and Eberle, and with that deployment, he's bound to be able to score a point every once in a while. Then I have Daniel Sprong, who's playing on that line with Alex Wennberg. He's someone who actually shoots the puck a decent amount, so he'll give you a little bit of a safe floor, but he's not necessarily going to put up a point. And last but not least, I have Mason Appleton, who plays on the third line in Winnipeg with Adam Lowry. He's actually a pretty solid player. Actually played on Seattle earlier in the year. Hasn't been putting up points lately, but if there is nobody available above him on this list somehow, Mason Appleton is not the worst option in the world. I think that he has a decent chance to be able to put up a point or two. Now, I'm not going to talk about defensemen in this video because I did include defensemen in that part of the video already. So we're going to jump straight into the categories league section of the video, and let's start with shots on goal. So if you're a little bit behind in shots on goal, or you're up by only a little bit and you want to make sure that you take the category, these are the guys that you should consider adding for those off-night games. Victor Arvidsson is someone who's an amazing ad because, well, he shoots 3.5 times per game. So over the span of those Wednesday and Thursday games, he should get you about 7 shots on goal, which could be enough to help you secure that category. Adrian Kempe is another great ad. He shoots 3.1 times per game. Yafalo shoots 2.7. McCann shoots 2.6. Trevor Moore 2.5. Athanasiou 2.5. Kaliev 2.4. And Daniel Sprong 2.4. If you need blocks, the number one guy to add is Sean Durzi of the Los Angeles Kings. Blocks only 1.8 times per game, so obviously not the most reliable, but over 2 games, he should get you somewhere between 3 and 4 blocks. Adam Larson 1.7 and Alexander Edler 1.6 as well. Now, if you don't care about benching someone on Friday in order to make sure that you take your blocks category, these are the league leaders in blocks. Braden McNabb of the Vegas Golden Knights, Mario Ferraro of the Sharks, Ryan Pulock of the Islanders, and Jake McCabe of the Chicago Blackhawks. These teams play either Wednesday, Friday, or Thursday, Friday. If you need hits, the number one guy who plays on off nights to grab is Adam Lowry of the Winnipeg Jets. Hits about 3 times per game. So over those 2 games on Wednesday and on Sunday, you'll get about 6 hits. Brandon Dillon hits 2.7 times, Alexiak 2.6, and Adam Larson 2.3. Now again, if you don't care about benching someone on the busy nights, well, Radko Gudas is the league leader in hits and hits 4.7 times per game. So definitely a solid add. If you need it over a couple games that you'll get from him, he'll hit somewhere between 8 and 9 times in all likelihood. And then I have Luke Shen of the Vancouver Canucks, who hits 4.1 times per game, and Ryan Reeves of the New York Rangers, who hits 4.0 times per game. Gudas and Shen play Thursday and Friday, and Ryan Reeves plays Wednesday and Friday. Do keep in mind, though, if you stream any of the Seattle or Winnipeg guys that I mentioned above, they actually also play on Friday. So if you do stream Adam Lowry and you need those hits, you could bench someone on Friday as well, and you can get 3 games out of Lowry Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and you'll get about 9 hits from Lowry in that case. If you need faceoff wins, the number one guy to grab is Philip Dano, who wins 8.6 faceoffs per game on average, which is really, really great. Over a couple games, he'll get you somewhere between 16 to 17 faceoff wins, which is absolutely fantastic. Paul Stastny lately has been playing center, which he hasn't been playing a lot of the year, and over his last 10 games, he's been averaging 7.1 faceoff wins per game. Adam Lowry also averages 7.1 faceoff wins per game. Wenberg averages 7.0, Yanni Gourde 5.9, Morgan Gigi 4.9, and Blake Lizotte 4.5. And that's it, guys. You've reached the end of the video. I just want to take this time to say thank you so much for watching and supporting my videos all year round. I really do appreciate it, guys. And if you're not going to tune in until next year, guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you next season. Otherwise, I will be releasing a little bit of off-season content, but the next season content will be beginning in around August next season, so stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you so much for watching all season round. Really do appreciate it, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.